Hello guys, good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Head. Good evening, Devesh. Let's start today class. Let me share my screen quickly. Okay. Devesh, you are new to this class, right?
Yes, ma'am, I'm new to this session.
Okay. Let me, just because want to explain in the previous class also. Okay. I will brief about that. Okay. So first of all, I'll explain about myself. Okay. Let me introduce myself. Okay. My name is Sirisha Reddy. Okay, I have overall 7 years of experience in the IT industry. Majorly, my skill sets in that SQL Server and BI technologies. Okay, like Power BI, data engineer tools. Okay, we have Azure ADF. Okay, and we have the MSBI stack like SSIS, SSAS, SSRS. Okay, so I'm coming to the expertise into the database management skill and data modeling, business intelligence, data analytics, and visualization part. Like we have Power BI tool, okay, and the SQL. So if you take it as a SQL development completely in the Microsoft SQL Server side. Why? Because okay, as a data engineer, okay, we want to become data engineer. Any data technology, if you take it, we want to compulsory learn about the SQL, okay, because SQL is a mandatory if you go to any data technologies. Like you want to become data analyst, if you want to become visualization engineer, you want to become data engineer, data scientist, okay, BI analyst, anywhere if you go to coming into the data side. So we want everywhere it is like we should know about the SQL, okay. So this is completely about myself. I'm the last 2 to 3 years I'm giving the training to these MS SQL developer trainings, okay, along with the MSBI stack, okay, like SSIS, SSAS, SSRS, and the Power BI also, okay, and I'm expertise in the Power Automate, Power Apps also, okay. So let's jump into the our topic, okay. So first thing, our SQL Server development, right? Okay. So before learning in the SQL Server, okay, first we want to understand about the what is data. Okay, if you are coming from a computer background, okay, whoever comes from the computer subject knowledge, some about, okay, so they should understand like what is data, what is DBMS, what is RDBMS, okay. But we'll quickly go through that because we learned in the college times or some days, right, later. So we'll quickly jump into this class, okay. First of all, we should understand what is data, okay. Data in computer side technology, data is nothing but, okay, anything in the real-time object, we can call it as a data, okay. Data or information, we will, in general, we will call it as information, okay. Information is nothing but passing something, okay. For example, I am calling to you, okay. So what is the purpose of that, okay, what is the main agenda for that, okay. Everything is a information, right? For example, in olden days, if you take it as a everything they are maintaining in a documents, okay. For example, this property belongs to this, means this property or anything information, okay. Everything they are written in transactions, everything in a notebook, okay. They used to maintain that because in olden days we don't have that much in the digital, right, digital era we don't have. So that's why they should maintain everything in a books or something files, okay. Very whoever having the olden laptop, okay, in 90s they have introduced this, right, okay. That cases they have very little bit of this file format of the data, okay. But before that we used to maintain everything in a document manner, okay. So to maintain that, most of the manual power is required, and to store those documents, okay, like each document they want to maintain a year wise, okay. For example, if you see newspapers, okay, they will bundle and they will keep it in somewhere in the storage room, right, okay. But to maintain those and in a room or something, what will be the happening, okay. See, if something fire accident will happen, that all the documents will collapse, okay, right, and we lost the data. We lost the data. Who will be the responsible for that? No one knows, okay. We lost the data, okay, and we don't get back the data, okay. We don't have the backup of the data, okay. That is also one of the information, right? In documents, storing and signatures, everything they are copied. Okay, but if they are burnt out, what will happen? We will not get back those data, right? So what will be that happening? There will be a lot of manpower is required to maintain the data, and to maintain in a room, okay, like lot of what we can say documents, okay, to keep it in the storage wise, okay, lot of manual power arrangements is required, okay, to maintain those documents and everything, okay. To overcome this, okay, what the computer era came like, to maintain in a digital manner, okay. For example, now we are using Google, for example, take it as a Gmail, okay, or photos, Google Photos, everything synced into that, right? Okay, everything we are maintaining in a documents or photos, everything through the Gmail backups, okay. Even in WhatsApp also we should take some backup of that. Why? If we lost the data also, we have the backup in a drive, okay, right? So that's way, okay, that's way data will be very crucial. Why I'm saying data, next generation, everything should be in a data technologies only, okay. Why? Because see, now nowadays every day lots of data is increasing tremendously, okay. If you take, see, YouTube or Instagram, per second some thousands of videos are uploading, okay, per second some thousand or lakhs of the videos are uploading, right? Okay, and those data they are maintaining what, in a data center, right? And to maintain that and to give that processing speed, okay, everything maintaining in a data is tremendously increasing, okay. Some terabytes in future, maybe in terabytes also it will be more increasing. If you see an example, before 8 years or I think 7 years back, okay, if you want to purchase 1 GB of data also, okay, we are spending so much of time, okay. And nowadays if you see, the memory size of that 32 GB, 64 GB, everyone purchasing that mobiles, okay. Now it is increasing 128 GB to 56 GB also. Why? Everyday photos are increasing, right? And documents are increasing, everything data is increasing tremendously, okay. That's why I'm telling you, future will be the, any data technology you can pick it up, future everything is a data, okay. Now we'll understand now what is data, what is information, why we want to secure the data, and why we want to store the data, okay. So if you see data, what is data? Anything, some information we are storing, okay, anything we are storing in a, we will call it as an information, okay. For example, daily basis, okay, we see some data we are storing. For example, okay, you can take it as an example, YouTube, okay, some video that is kind of a streaming data, right? Okay, video uploading, where it is storing, okay. Because for example, I'm uploading a video, but you are able to see my video how? Through my some account, right? Okay, I have to create one account, and that account sync to the Google, and that security we are giving public, okay. Those will be that maintained in a, everything in a one account, through one account, same way, okay. Same way here also, how we are managing in the DBMS, okay. So DBMS is nothing but a database management system, okay. So DBMS is a software why we'll use to store the data and manage the data, okay. So that for example, in DBMS, if we don't have DBMS, for example, take it, where we want to store, okay, and how we can manage in the sense, how we want to retrieve the data, okay, how we want to select the data, particular data. So that is nothing but a DBMS, okay. Without DBMS, it is very hard to maintain the data, hard to fetch the data, okay. For example, just understand, if we have a library, okay, we have lots of books over there, okay. For example, I want some journal, okay. How we will dive that journal published in olden days, like some 2000 year, okay. So to, because that is very old, right? They will maintain in a very rarely one or two books available, that's it. But to identify in a that central library, very difficult, right? But if you take it as in a database management system in a digital manner, you just write the query, okay. Same way here also, okay. If we arrange it properly in a database management system also, we can easily quick fetch the data, okay. That is the way we are using the DBMS. Hope you understood, right? DBMS, database management system, it is a software why we use to store the data and manage the data. Why we want to store the data? you can ask, ma'am, why we want to store the data? We can store in file also. We can store in the CSV file, or we have Excel file. Why we want to separate database? We can create it for this, right? So I'll tell you why we want to store in DBMS. See, in Excel, or if you take any file, okay, in Excel or any file, there we have limit, okay. We can store, you see, up to some lakhs of records only, okay. If it is increasing, okay, if it is increasing, so what we can say, we can't store this again. We have to create another sheet, and we have to give name and everything. The structure will be remain, right, but data is increasing, okay. So the file system has size limitations. The file system has size limitations and maintaining problem also, okay, compared to DBMS, okay. So DBMS will contain any amount of the value. There is no size limitation here, okay. You can store based upon whatever the purchasing your premium things, okay. That is also compared to purchasing the licensed Microsoft SQL Server, Microsoft Excel things. Compared to that, okay, it is reasonable only, because organizations will purchase on the bulk wise, right? So that's fine, okay. Now you understand, right, why DBMS came? To maintain the large volume of the data, to maintain the large volume of the data, and to store the data, okay, and to store and manage the data, okay. So DBMS will be useful whenever we want to store large volume of the data and to store it and manage it, okay. Managing in the sense what, okay, whenever we want to delete some particular data, or we want to update the data. Update in the sense what, okay. For example, we have a table called employee, okay. Now your location is Hyderabad. By next day onwards, you are shifting to relocation, that is Bangalore or Mumbai, anyway, okay. So you want to rename that kind of information we want to update it, okay. Or we want to do some other modifications, like you want to add some other columns, okay, in a table, okay. You want to do some operations to that particular table, okay. So those kind of, you can call it as a managing the data, okay. Now you want to fetch some who will be the highest salary person. You want to write a query for that, okay. Those kind of managing things you want to do, okay, after storing the data. Like the same way, for example, in olden days, you can see, you have in school days, a teacher will maintain one document, right, for that, our marks list, okay, absence, or who will be present, everything they will maintain in a attendance manner, okay. And if we want to get the particular day marks, okay, for example, in quarterly, yearly, they will maintain some examination sports, right, okay. If we want to give, they will maintain everything data. For example, now you want to get some certification about how will be the percentage in 10th, okay. You can SSC, okay. What that, you have now one sheet of the document, right. For example, you lost that document, okay. Now what will be you do? You go to your school again, they will maintain in the records, again you have to take that copy and do that, okay. Same way here also, some historical data will store in a DBMS, okay. Now, whenever you want to get the data, you have to write a query, fetch the data, take a copy, and make it as a Excel sheet or any form. You can transfer it to PDF format, Word format, whatever it preferable, okay. And you can make it a useful for your real time, okay. Same scenario in projects also we used to do, okay. Projects, why we require to see any project, real-time project based on our real-time works only, okay. Don't be there, think about like a project means it's very difficult to make it, no need, okay. If you understand a project clearly, what is the use of our project, what it is helping to the business, okay. See, learning any technology, it is okay, but understanding the requirement, okay, understanding the business concepts, okay, understanding the purpose. Anytime if you are doing any work in the project or anywhere, okay, what is the purpose of this? Why we are learning this? Is it useful in the future? Okay, you have to learn these concepts, okay. And how, if I want to learning, how I want to improve this again, okay. So because every day software industry, you know, right? Every day is a learn. Okay. Today technology, tomorrow maybe goes and update again. We have to do. Okay, other features will come. We have to be ready to learn those updates and everything. Okay, so that is the way we have. Because if you see 2 GB of the data in 8 years back, if we want to purchase, how we struggled. Now it's coming very cheap, right? That 2 GB of 5 GB SIM we have right now. Okay, that much speed it is increasing. Okay, the network, like we have the proper net we have, right? Okay, if we can see any kind of information through internet, because internet is giving any kind of information. Okay, but one thing, real time work, whenever you will get that struggle, okay, then only you can understand that. Okay, see, everything is learning, okay, that is fine, but applying those concepts in the project, that is very difficult, guys. Okay, so that I can tell you. Okay, next we'll move to the RDBMS concept. Okay, I'm going to another topic, that is RDBMS. Okay, so before going to the RDBMS, okay, after introducing DBMS, okay, in market side there will be different kind of databases came. Okay, that is hierarchical DBMS, network DBMS, central DBMS. Okay, there are lot of databases came actually, but only relational DBMS is more popular. Okay, why? Why I'll tell. Okay, hierarchical information only to store the hierarchical type of data. Hierarchy in the sense what? Okay, we have country. Under country we have states. States under what we have? Again districts. Districts to we have mandal. Like that, we have one hierarchy level type of data only we can store. Okay, if nothing type of that, where we can store? That is difficult, right? So that's why it's outdated, it's not become popular. Okay, next we have network model. Okay, network model database also, it's not also more popular. Why? Because okay, network in the sense connectivity. Okay, for example, we have a family, who will be the elder person have four sons to again each person how many, 8 members. It's like networking going, but to identify from starting person to child person, it's very difficult with the relationship also, right? So that way it is very difficult to maintain the data in a network model. Okay, after that it is introduced central DB. Central DB in the sense everything we are maintaining in a central data. Like you can take an example, central library. Okay, everything in a central one way. Okay, but after that introduced relational DBMS. Okay, this is the most popular one, and we are also going to learn about this. That is Microsoft SQL Server, one of the relational database. Okay, why relational database is most popular? We'll discuss. First of all, what is relational database? Okay, so relational database management system, it stores the data. It is also one of the software. Okay, but it stores the data in the form of tables. Table is nothing but a what? Table will contain the data in the form of rows and columns. That means structured data. Okay, structure in the sense everything contains the table data in the form of tables and rows. Okay, for example, take an Excel. We have a employee. I want to create one employee table. Okay, that contains the column employee ID and employee name, and I want to store the salary column. Okay, and that employee belongs to which department. Okay, now let's enter employee ID 1101, 1102, 1103, 1104. Like this, we have different. Now, employee name, for example, you can give some names, random names like Ravi, Ram, Krish, and we have Raj. Okay, like this, some employee names. Now, salary, for example, I'm giving just 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. Okay, so amounts. Next, we have department ID. This is called as a data and visualization. Next, it belongs to data engineer. next data scientist, next data analyst. Okay. Now, if you see here, this is a one of the table. Okay, that is table name called as a employee table. Employee table contains the data in the form of columns and rows. Okay, column is nothing but employee ID, employee name, salary, department. Okay, and the rows contains what it is. The rows contains the details of the each column. Okay, employee ID, employee name, salary, department, like this. Okay, so that's why everything, if you see, whenever come and see the data, they can understand. Employee ID contains only the employee IDs, employee name contains the only names of the employees, salary means corresponding employee salaries, department means he or she belongs to which department type. Okay, that's why relational database is very easy because it maintain data in a structured format. Okay, that's why. Okay, this we will call it as a RDBMS. Okay, so RDBMS is easy to maintain the data and to store the data as well. Okay, DBMS also understands very easy. Okay, like this we can create some lakhs of the tables data. Okay, so the relational database example we have Microsoft SQL Server, Oracle DBMS, and IP2 MongoDB MySQL. Okay, these are the market's most popular RDBMS softwares we have in the market. But most popular Microsoft SQL Server, Oracle, and MySQL, and few we have IBM has their own IP2 tool like MongoDB. We have different, but most popular like Microsoft SQL Server and Oracle, we can say. Okay. Now, in the upcoming class, we are going to learn about our Microsoft SQL Server database management system. Okay, and it was developed by Microsoft. Okay, in the year of 1989. Okay, it was developed by 1989. And in the SQL Server development class, we'll discuss, okay, from basics SQL to, from basics of SQL to why SQL is mandatory, I'll tell you. Okay, if we create some database, okay, we created some database, but to maintain and to do any operations connecting with the system and the user, we required one language. That is nothing but a SQL. SQL is nothing but a database language. Okay, like we have Python, Java, SQL, right? So same like coding technologies. SQL also one of the database language. Okay, people used to call SQL or SQL. Okay, now to interact with the database and the user, we will use the SQL as a database language. Okay, now if you know the basic English, you no need to worry about, ma'am, SQL is very complicated like the Java we have, C, because they have compulsory syntaxes, right? Okay, they have their own procedures, functions, everything. But don't worry, SQL, if you know basics of English, okay, so ma'am, I'm not fluent in the English, okay, and I don't know the some terms, okay, don't worry, SQL is very easy. Okay, if you know some basics of English, you can easily understand. Okay, in the upcoming class, I'll teach you like what are the simplest ways you can find out in the real-time project while working with the SSMS tool. Okay, don't worry about it. Okay, we can learn all the basics of SQL to advanced topics to real time how we are going to implement those concepts. Okay, so don't worry about that. And one thing I'm requesting, if you learn any day class, okay, I mean each day class, you have to be practice those concepts. That's it. Okay, now we'll move to the what are the things we are going to learn. Okay, if you're not getting the proper what are we are going to learn in the next classes, get that all the content details from our who will be the scheduled person. Okay, you can call them and ask them. They will provide you what are the content we are going to learn in the upcoming classes. Okay, now see guys, Oracle and we have market in the Microsoft SQL Server. Why we want to learn, ma'am? Why Microsoft SQL Server only? Can I take Oracle also? You have question, right? So don't worry, I'll tell you. See, if you take any database management tech software, okay, there will be a little differences, not more than. Okay, if you learn SQL, Microsoft SQL Server development now, you can easily handle the Oracle also. You can easily handle the MongoDB also. You can easily learn the MySQL also. same concepts. Okay, there will be a no big differences, very little differences. That's it. Okay, if you learn Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server also, you can easily maintain the database. Okay, you can do that. Okay, you can easily do the MongoDB, you can do the MySQL, anything. Okay, my suggestion would be anywhere if you learn, but any technology you can take it up. Like you're not in the technology, any software you can pick it up. Okay, one thing you have to be learned completely. Okay, then you will easily get the all the details about the SQL, why we want the SQL, how to write the query, how to improve the performance of the query. Okay, how it will be useful in the real time. Okay, what we can get the requirements coming to whatever we learn. Okay, to crack any interview kind of from basics to advanced concepts. Okay, for example, I don't know, few people comes from for the role of data science analyst, or few people for ma'am, I want only SQL developer, I want only data engineer, I want to like that, right? So, but SQL if you learn, guys, okay, if you learn SQL one time in your life, okay, that will be useful in your entire career. Okay, entire career. If you want to switch from data analyst to SQL developer, or SQL developer to data engineer to data scientist, any technology you want to switch from one role to another role, SQL is mandatory, guys. SQL, any DBMS you can take it, it's mandatory. Okay, without any DBMS, there is no project, there is no application development. Okay, so that's why if you learn in your life one time, that will be useful in your entire life. Okay, so and in the upcoming classes, basics of SQL too, like SQL we can learn. Okay, what is SQL concepts? Okay, we can create what are the DDL commands, DML commands. Okay, we have DCL, DQL commands, TCL commands. All these concepts we are going to learn. Okay, in DDL what we have, like how to create a table. Okay, how to create a database, how to create a table, all creating schemas, everything we are going to learn. Okay, create command will help you how to create it. Don't worry, in the upcoming classes, detailedly with the practical and theoretical, we are going to discuss all those things. Okay, how to rename a table, how to rename a database. Okay, and how to alter the table, how to alter the database. Okay, how to delete a table, how to delete a database. Okay, so these we can discuss. Next, DML commands. DML is nothing but data manipulation language. Manipulation in the sense changes, like how to update the records in a table, how to delete a records. Okay, how to rename a table. Okay, and what we have, how to alter, do the changes of. Okay, so here also we can do that. Next we have DQL. The main query we have data query language, that is nothing but select command. Okay, using select we can get the how many records in a table, all the table, whatever in a table after creating. Don't worry, guys. Everything we'll discuss in the upcoming class. But I'm telling you the introduction of this, what we are going to learn in the upcoming classes. Okay, completely. And TCL also, transaction control language. Okay, like whenever we want to control the databases. Okay, transaction control language. What we have? Anyone has idea? TCL commands. People used to think this is only data administrative kind of. No, everybody can learn. Okay,
Commit rollback.
right. Commit, rollback, save point. Okay, we have these. Next, DCL also, data control language. What we have for this? Anyone idea? Giving the access to the user and taking the access. Anyone idea?
Insert.
Sorry, DCL. Anyone, guys? Anyone, please? No problem. I'll let it. Grant and revoke. Okay. Means why grant and revoke? For example, you are accessing one application. Okay, but it was asking you don't have permission to that. Why? There is a grant permission and to take the revert back the permissions. Okay, revoke. Grant and revoke. So how we can give the database permissions to the other users? Okay, other kind of. Okay, this is related to the kind of data administrative work. Okay, so those kind of we can learn. Okay, and we can learn constraints in the SQL. Okay, all the topics, joins. Okay, and we can learn union all operators, constraints. Okay, and we can learn the advanced topics like stored procedures, functions, cities, indexes, triggers, error handling techniques. Okay, we can learn all of the concepts. Okay, and TSQL concepts also, all the transact SQL concepts. Okay, and if you learn this SQL, you can applicable to any one of these roles. Okay, because if you want to become data analyst, okay, you can learn along with the SQL, SQL Server development, along with that Excel and Power BI. Okay, any one of the data analyst technology you can learn. Okay, and if you want to become only SQL developer also, you can do that. Okay, and data engineer also you can learn with SQL is mandatory, and you have to learn some technologies like SSIS, or you want to learn Azure Data Factory. Okay, those kind of technologies you can pick up, that Azure Synapse, Azure Databricks. Okay, those kind of you can pick up along with the technology. Okay, now data scientist. So if you want to become data scientist, as usual, SQL is mandatory for that, and along with that, you have to learn all the machine learning and the natural processing technologies. All you have to be learn. Okay, so these are the main thing, guys, and I'm assured after this class, okay, I will provide you the real-time scenarios, and every time whenever we are discussing in a class, same day I will explain you based on this what are the interview questions they will ask you and how it will be useful in the real-time project. Okay, some shortcuts also I will tell you how you have to execute the query, what are the things you should not do in a real time. See guys, learning theory is one thing. Okay, learning, you can learn anywhere the SQL also, but one thing, applying those concepts in real time work is different. Okay, so that is the one thing I can share. And whenever you are doing practice, without practice it won't helpful to your career. Okay, so because just seeing learning, okay, but whenever you practice it only, you will understand what type of error I am getting, how to resolve it. Okay, and within a speed, okay, that speed also it will be increased, because in the future users there will be a lot of competition ones. Okay, if you are applying any one job, there will be some thousands. Now also we are seeing, right, in my company we are taking the interviews, we are taking some 1,000 people, some 100 of the people interviews. Okay, 1,000 resumes coming, under that only 100 are shortlisting. In the 100 we are taking the 55 plus interviews. Okay, then selecting one candidate. See now how the competition in the market. So if you want to survive in these competition areas, you have to be proactive. Okay, you have to be learn each small point also. Okay, oh learn I know like how to create database, how to create. No, you should practice, guys. You should practice how to use it, when to use it, what is the use of that to use. You should learn these concepts. Okay, whenever applying any kind of thing in your project, anywhere. Okay, this is will be anywhere, I can say. Any doubt, guys, up to here? Any guys? Any doubt? Any doubt? Please ask me if you have. Feel free, because you have to be free asking questions. Then I can also interact with you, right? Okay, what level you are understanding, so I can explain in detail of those concepts. Okay, feel free to reach out to me, not only in the class, later also, ma'am, I have this concept doubt, I please explain me one more time. I am very feel free. Okay, in the weekend also if you want, I can take one extra class to explain those concepts. Okay, so I'll show you the what we are going to learn in the upcoming classes. This is nothing but a Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. I'll teach you how to download also, don't worry about that. And in that, how to create a database, how to connect to the database, okay, and how to write the queries. Everything we are going to learn in the upcoming classes. Don't worry, guys. Okay. So So tomorrow also same timing, 7 p.m. we have the class. Okay, and each day we have 1 hour, and only Monday to Friday, Saturday, Sunday we have holiday. Okay.
I have few questions.
Sorry, please.
Yeah, I just want to know, see, these whatever you said that like you will so is it all practical? We can go ahead with the practical, or it's only the basic things you can what like creating the table, right? Syntax, only syntax wise, or you can provide the scenarios as well, like when we create the city, right? When you created
Yes,
the
yes, that is the important, right?
procedures.
This class.
So procedures that, yeah. So is it you are going to only provide the kind of syntax and one example, or you will build more examples for that? Like for example, there is a procedure. It has input parameter, output parameter. It is simple procedure. So you will give all with example or what?
No, see, I will provide you the scenario also. More examples also I will provide. Okay, and I will give you assignment also. Like there is a scenario. How will you handle that situation? Okay, you have to be ready for that. Okay, so as more you are interested, first day I will give you in the first day how to create a stored procedure, the definition of the example. Okay, and next day I will ask you more of the assignments from your side, and after that there is a scenario, guys. Okay, I will explain you more examples also. Okay, don't worry about them. Okay, advanced level also, like in real time how we face it. Okay, I will show you those also. Okay,
Okay.
anyone having doubt? Okay, okay, guys, we'll meet tomorrow class. Okay, we'll meet tomorrow class. Okay, we'll start the actual class with the practical. Tomorrow I'll show you how to download the Microsoft SQL Server and how to create some databases from scratch. We'll start, okay, from scratch. Okay, same timing. Okay, 7 p.m. Anyone having doubt? Okay, guys, thank you. Bye.
Thank you.